So like repair is really a big thing this weekend, and it can be done by showing up who you are, not who you were, as long as you're being authentic. So don't be afraid to take a stand. Hey guys, it's Terry. We're here for a relationship reading for the weekend of August 20th. So it's going to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we are going to see what is in store for us relationship-wise for this weekend. Now just remember, relationships can be of all sorts. Familial, meaning family, can be coworkers, so colleagues, can be boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, friends, the whole shebang, bartender or patron, right? So there's a whole bunch of different types of relationships, because as we know, this human experience gives us many, many opportunities to relate to other humans. So we're going to see what this weekend is going to be like. Now, I also do compatibility readings. So if you just started dating somebody, or you need to hire someone, or maybe you're even just looking at, several different options for a house, a car, whatever. I do compatibility energy check-ins, right? Like, how would you be compatible with X, Y, and Z, or whoever? So if that is something that you would like, or you just want just a general guidance session, or you want some coaching, you can always book a session with me directly through my site, terryhuberman.com, because right now what I'm doing is I'm doing a reading for the collective. So some of this information may resonate with you, some may not. So just take what does and toss what doesn't. Again, if you want something more personal, more private, we can arrange that. So when I was convening, having my coffee with Spirit this morning, I asked, what does the collective need to know? What do we need to know? And I heard show up. And I was like, okay, show up. In terms of relationships, show up. So I started chatting with Spirit a little bit more. And what I was getting was that a lot of people right now are very into themselves, which, for crying out loud, is like the way to go right now, right? We have to do our own inner work individually before we can do anything collectively, or in collaboration, or in partnership with everyone else. The challenge is that if you're too much into yourself, you don't have the opportunity to relate to other people. So this message really is about showing up in life for yourself in relation to other people. So what I mean by that is being too avoidant, or not wanting to show up or stand up or take a step forward, initiate anything. And this is generally speaking, the cockatoo's up, by the way, so you're going to hear him screaming. Is about being there for other people, or relating to other people. So this weekend, showing up on behalf of someone else, so for someone else, in spite of how you're feeling, is not necessarily a bad thing. Normally, I would say you should never, do something for someone else and negate or abandon what your own needs are. And I'm not by any chance saying that at all. Not at all. This is more in regards, thanks guys, to repair. So they're talking about showing up for repair. So relationships this weekend, there's an opportunity to repair, or maybe even pick up where it was left off, but it's about that connecting and not avoiding and not being away from people. So you can apply this to, let's say you're in a friendship, because earlier in the week, we did get the message that it's time to clean up friendships, vibrational through the vibrations. So we can apply kind of that same concept here, even though it's not, this is for more than just a friendship. This is for like all kinds of relationships. This is with family. This is with lovers. This is with coworkers, right? So this is, and especially single people, I just heard. So this is about like stepping up and coming forward. So like, if you're afraid to show yourself this, and you know what, you guys are talking way too fast. Can you please slow down? So this is also about showing your authenticity. So there's a fear of, sorry, I just had a moment with spirit. There's a fear of not being able to really fully show yourself to someone else. And in that process of showing up, there can be reconnection or repair, not being afraid of the fact that whatever you're going through, because unbeknownst to you, whoever you are also collaborating or convening with is also going through their own stuff, right? So it's like you have two people who are afraid or of showing who they really are or expressing themselves or whatever. And again, this could be colleagues too, but they're really telling me, they're giving me the feeling, the sensation that this is definitely more for singles who are like trying to get out there. Don't be afraid to show up as you are and who you are, because we're heading more towards this authentic place. Right? So if you have pulled away from someone you're dating, or you're just starting to get out there and date because things are different than they used to be, and they're talking about more change coming to how courting and dating is going to be. There's a reversion. Is that the word? Reversitivity? I don't know the word. There's a way of, some nostalgia is coming back in terms of more courting, even if you're doing like the really casual thing, and plenty of people are still being very casual these days, in spite of the virus and all of that. But they're talking about there being more of like the old school ways of courting and actually dating and getting to know somebody before jumping too fast like into relationships. So there's a shift and a change in the way we are relating to other people. But this weekend, it is about showing up in spite of how you're feeling, and showing that part of you that's feeling X, Y, and Z, and using that authenticity as a filter and as a way to repair and reconnect with people. So if, maybe, and again, this does feel more like it is towards the single people. So like, if you dated somebody in the past or something and it didn't work out and you want to reconnect and repair, show up as who you are now, because you're not who you were. Everybody's gone through so many changes. So you're not who you were, right? So like repair is really a big thing this weekend. And it can be done by showing up who you are. Not who you were, as long as you're being authentic. So don't be afraid to take a stand. Don't be afraid to initiate. And that's, with people from the past. But if you're single and you're dating right now, and this is somebody that you want to get to know, but you're like not feeling it, or you're just nervous about what they're going to say or do, or how they're going to respond to you as who you are now, be authentic, be in your authenticity. You can use it as a filter, right? You can just be like, okay. And that's another way of how you can clean up your vibration. Earlier in the week, we were talking about clearing up vibration. It's like, show up who you are. You are who you are, and who you are is just fine. And you will find somebody else who's just as fine as you are, right? As long as you stay in your own authenticity, because that is your frequency and that is your vibration. And we all are at this point in our lives where we all are. And there's nothing wrong with where we are, but it's important to show up that way. All right. So let me pick some cards here so we can see if there's anything else that I may have missed. Or that could give us a little bit more information. I am using the Oracle of E cards and the Romance Angel cards. So here we go. Hasta la vista, baby. And express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. So here's the thing, is like, we are moving into different ways of courtship and dating. And we're getting more into this authentic space where we're just showing up who we are. So don't be afraid to do that. And this Hasta la Vista, baby, is talking about how the past is just no longer, gonna be the way we do things. So it is okay to show up. It is okay. Don't be afraid. Don't avoid. Repair, reconnect. It's all good. As uncomfortable as this is a new way of being, and there are changes being made. And, growth is important to the human experience. Without it, we just stay stuck and nothing changes in our life, right? And we're always through desires, in a state of creating and manifesting unbeknownst to us, but that's what our energy does. Our energy speaks for us, right? So show up, express your love. Okay, it doesn't, obviously if you're single and you're dating and you're not, you've had like 3 dates and you're like not ready to say I love you to someone or take it to a next level, don't do that. But also don't be afraid to not show up. Even if like you're feeling tenderhearted that day, or maybe you got let go of your job or something and you're just not feeling very secure about your finances, show up anyways and just say, look, I'm feeling this way, blah, 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 blah. If there was ever a time in history, in our lifetimes, that anybody would be understandable about the fact that you lost your job or about the fact that this is happening or that is happening, it is now. So the old ways are going. The old ways are going. Show up, because people are actually more open to hearing your truth and to accepting who you are right now, because that's where they are too. So it's like for a very long time in this period of history, probably for most of us in our human life, in this lifetime, we're at a place where authenticity is really starting to be accepted. You don't have to hide anymore. So show up, be yourself. Don't even worry anymore about, like, what does my body look like or anything like that, because someone's going to like it or they're not. And then you're just going to move on, right? So this message is definitely more for the singles, which is fine. Repair, reconnection, just it's all good. Just show up, be authentic in who you are. In all relationships, again, even your coworkers are going to understand you a lot more, a lot better, right? So this is a great weekend. It's a little nerve-wracking of a weekend because it's like, oh shit, I got to show up. But it's also a really great weekend of expansion and maybe even going deeper, and getting to know each other, right? Building that history, which is intimacy, even if it's not physical intimacy. And this is nothing about physical intimacy. Okay, you guys? What am I always saying to you? Stay connected. Stay connected to your friends and family. Stay connected to yourself. And of course, you can stay connected to me if you want to work with me in any capacity. Check me out at terryhuberman.com. You can follow me on all the social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. I am very, very available to you because my biggest value is connection. I've got events on Patreon. If you want to join my Patreon, where we do live workshops, live group readings, live energy shifting sessions. So I'm here to help everybody feel like they're part of a community, right? People who have these high sensitivities, people who are coming online into their own conscious awareness and they don't know what to do with it, or even if you do know what to do with it, but you just want to be with like-minded people. I want to provide that for all of us. And I do that for you, and I do that for me, because again, my biggest value is connection. And without you, I can't do any of this. I'm here to be of service, and I'm so grateful to be able to help you, because believe it or not, everything that you do, I learn from. So you can see how important it is to relate and connect to other human beings. So I'm only as good as the people around me. And I thank you so much for journeying with me in this experience and navigating our way through human life. And with that in mind, please, please, please be happy, be healthy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you on the flip side.